The American Legislative Exchange Council released a report ranking all 50 states best to worst for economic conditions based on 15 metrics, mostly related to state tax environment, with Utah ranking as the number one state, followed by North Carolina and Arizona. Republican-led states largely filled the better parts of the ranking, while Democrat-led states fell to the bottom, with the top 10 states almost entirely being Republican-led, and the bottom 10 states all Democratic-led. The bottom of the ranking is occupied by New York, Vermont, Minnesota, Jersey, Illinois, while the top half of states offer more economic opportunity and a better quality of life as taxpayers continue to move towards states that have a lower cost of life and it can get it right with policy. Can you pull up this the ranking there, Rob, if you have the story? If you can pull up this article, this is the Epoch Times story with the title. If you just want to Google it, the title says 50 State Report GOP Led. If you just type that, it'll come up. 50 State Report GOP Led. And it should be an Epoch Times. Yeah, if you just put that, it should come up. There you go, right there. So if you can go to the ranking, I want them to see the ranking. Keep going lower. We can subscribe later to this. Yeah, keep going lower, 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 lower. There you go. Okay, the full ranking of the states. Utah, Carolina, Arizona, Idaho, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Indiana, North Dakota, Florida, Nevada. Top 10, okay? Then Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, South Dakota, Arkansas. Pretty much the 9 out of the top 10, I think the number is all Republican-led. Now go to the bottom 10. Go to the bottom 10 is what you're looking at. New York is the lowest. Worse for best economic condition. Vermont, Minnesota, Jersey, Illinois, California, Maine, Oregon, Hawaii, Maryland, Rhode Island. All Democrat.
Pretty blue.
Connecticut, New Mexico. So this right here states, if you want a fighting chance with your savings, with taxes, with growth, with you to have a shot at having a retirement one day where you can retire with dignity and enjoy the times and have a fighting shot at saving money, having a decent weekend, doing all of that stuff, red states offer that more than blue states do, period. And economy is something that is common sense. It's math. It's data. It's not just ideas. It's not lip service. Nope. There is economy, there is data, and that can be argued. Tom, what are your thoughts about this story here?
Well, I look at it and I see, God, if I'm blue, what is the highest ranking state? And, I'm thinking of climate and stuff, and it's the vast wasteland that is Nevada is number 10. So I thought that was sort of amusing. And then to get to another blue state, I think I had to get all the way down to number 16, Michigan. So surprising that Michigan was like number 16. But I look at this and it basically just says that when you favor three principles, liberty, free enterprise, and capitalism as your tenets of freedom, look what happens. Look what happens economically in your state. And you know what? Strong economics lead to proper coffers full of properly taxed people, not excessively taxed. And you can turn that into education. You can turn it into infrastructure. I look at this, and it's more than just the economic condition. It's also what that economic condition enables as a state that has so much else to offer. It's shocking. And I go say, what is the worst red state you could live in? It's number 36, Nebraska, red state. And so there's 14 blue states behind Nebraska. I was just shocked looking at this, at how stark it is when you make an objective assessment of what's the playing field to allow a great economy and, the principles of freedom, liberty, free enterprise, entrepreneurship. It's so clear.
Adam, how you process this? Because typically when you see numbers like this, you come back and you say, show me the bottom 10 states. Who the hell wants to live in Alabama? Why do want to live in a place like that?
I fully agree. Why the hell would you want to live in Alabama?
Why would anybody want to live in a top metropolitan city? And then you say things like that, right? And you bash.
I sound like a 1920s news reporter is what you're saying. Why would you? Oh, I'll show you, Kappa. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's how it sounds.
But tell us, sweetheart. Tell us.
Well, let me tell you, people. Here's how I'm processing
what are your
this
thoughts on this article here? And tell us and defend.
I think if you're going to look at your money, you kind of got to look at it holistically. One of the things I always say is that you have offense and you also have defense, right? So you might be able to put the most points on the board In New York, we just established they had the most millionaires of any other state in the country. California, their GDP is greater than pretty much most countries.
Yeah.
But just because you make a ton of money, then there's the defense, which is your expenditures and how much money you're leaking in cost of living, in taxes, in over-regulation, in being a non-friendly business climate, i.e. New York. So if you look at it's not just making all the money, because clearly you can make more money in states like New York, like in California, in Massachusetts, but you're going to be spending a lot more to live there. So you're going to find that healthy balance, and that's why I think a lot of people are moving to Florida.
Yeah, and those other countries.
Why don't you do it with that voice, though?
Yeah,
I think you should move to Florida.
That's the voice.
Come down here, T.
Yeah, New York. You make all the money in New York, and then you move to Florida. You pay no taxes. Yeah, that's how you escape. And then you go to Puerto Rico.
By the way, what's crazy is what people don't realize is Adam's voice on the podcast is not his real voice. This is Adam's real voice. When we leave the podcast, that's how we talk. Go ahead, Tom.
You've all been fooled.
Yeah, see?
That's right.
Tom, go ahead.
So
Tom actually sounds like Bill Clinton in real life. He just has this,
the
biz doc voice here. Go ahead, Tom. Go show him what you got.
Can you tell us in your Bill voice?
Send in the interns. Yeah. No, when I look at this, to what you just said, New York has the most millionaires for now. California is the number 7 economy in the world for now, because we're seeing it. We're seeing the drainage. There's a leak at the bottom of them, and 5 years from now, what is that going to look like? But that's very true. A tremendous amount of wealth was made. Without Silicon Valley, we don't have the iPhone and tons of other products that have made life better. Without the venture capital industry, you don't have electric cars and a lot of things that have made life better. California is not all bad. This is talking about right now, what has the leadership of these states done to give an economic playing field now to keep it, and these guys are deep into the second half of their game, and they're losing it, and they're fumbling the ball, and that's why people are leaving.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here, and if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.